Most people walk through life believing they know pain. They think a broken heart, a lost job, or a betrayal from a friend is the worst suffering the world can offer. But they have no idea. They don't know real pain. They don't know your hell. They don't know what it's like to be abandoned when you needed them most. They don't know the feeling of lying awake, staring at the ceiling, knowing you've been discarded like trash, forgotten as if you never mattered. They don't know what it's like to scream into the void and receive nothing in return. You used to be kind once. You used to believe in second chances, in the good of humanity. You thought loyalty meant something. But life has a cruel way of educating the naive. The people you trusted, they only saw you as a stepping stone, something to use, something to drain. And when you were empty, they left. They left without looking back. But the thing about people like you don't stay broken forever. No, no, no. Some people break and stay shattered. Others rebuild themselves into something stronger, something darker. And that's exactly what you did. Your transformation wasn't a choice. It was survival. You learned the rules of this world the hard way. Those who show mercy get devoured. Those who hesitate get crushed. You wiped the tears, buried the innocence, and sharpened your mind like a blade. If the world wanted a villain, then a villain you would become. And now you're the one they fear. Now, they whisper your name in hushed voices, afraid of what you might do next. They look into your eyes and see nothing but shadows. They think you lost your soul along the way. They're wrong. You didn't lose your soul. You simply evolved into something they could never comprehend. But the game isn't over. No, it's only just beginning. They call you ruthless now, dangerous, unforgiving. They whisper in fear about the things you've done, the choices you've made. But they don't know the truth. They don't know what it took to become this version of you. They don't know the fire you walked through, the pain that carved you into the shadow that haunts their nightmares. But you remember. Oh, you remember everything. You remember the nights when hunger gnawed at your stomach, and the cold wrapped around your bones like a death grip. You remember the doors that were slammed in your face, the laughter of people who found amusement in your suffering. You remember the ones who smiled while they stabbed you in the back. You trusted them once. You would have bled for them. And maybe that was your first mistake, thinking that loyalty meant something in a world built on betrayal. But life has a way of teaching the most painful lessons. And you learned. Pain became your teacher. At first, you fought against it. You still had hope. You still believed in the goodness of people. But every betrayal, every scar, every moment of cruelty chiseled away at the person you used to be. You weren't naive anymore. You weren't weak anymore. You became something else. You see, most people don't understand power. They think it's about money, influence, connections. But true power is something deeper. It's the ability to control, to walk into a room and own it without saying a word, to have people bend, break, and obey, not because they want to, but because they have no other choice. And that's what you built yourself into. There was no magic moment, no instant transformation. It was slow, brutal, and deliberate. You hardened yourself, silencing the emotions that once made you weak. You studied those who ruled the world, the real rulers, the ones who controlled everything from behind the scenes. You learned from them, adapted, and surpassed them. Now, they look at you with fear. They see the darkness in your eyes, and realize they can't manipulate you like they do everyone else. They see the confidence in your step and understand that you're not someone they can control. They see the ruthlessness in your actions and know you're willing to do what they never could. And that terrifies them because they know, deep down, they created you. The world made you a monster, and now they have to live with what they've done. But you don't seek their approval. You don't care for their pity. You don't need their apologies. No, you only want one thing: control. Control over the very system that once crushed you. Control over the people who threw you away. Control over the game that they thought you could never win. And you're winning. Oh, how you're winning. They don't realize it yet. But every move you make is calculated. Every step you take is part of a bigger plan. They think they're safe. They think they still hold the power. They couldn't be more wrong, because while they sleep soundly at night, you're awake, watching, waiting, preparing, and when the time comes, they will understand the true meaning of fear. They still don't see it coming. The ones who once walked past you like you were nothing, the ones who scoffed at your struggles, laughed at your pain, discarded you like you were worthless, they still believe they are untouchable. They think the world belongs to them, that the system they built will protect them forever. But what they don't know, what they will soon understand, is that the system no longer belongs to them. It belongs to you. Because while they were busy basking in their comfort, you were working in the shadows. While they were celebrating their power, you were learning their weaknesses. While they were growing complacent, you were growing unstoppable. They created a monster, and now that monster is knocking on their door. But you're not reckless. No, that's not how you work. You don't move out of rage. You don't seek vengeance like a fool burning with emotion. You play the long game, the patient game, the game they never expected you to master. And so, you watched them. You studied their every move, their habits, their desires, their fears. You learned what made them tick, what kept them awake at night. You saw the cracks in their perfect lives, the flaws they tried to keep hidden, and then you exploited them one by one. A whisper here, a rumor there, a well-placed lie, a strategic truth. It started small, unnoticeable at first. A missed deal, a sudden loss, a connection severed. But small things grow. They spread like poison, slow and silent, until one day they wake up and realize they've lost everything. They panic. They scramble. They try to fight back. But it's too late. You've already taken everything. One of them falls first. The weakest link. The one who never truly deserved their power to begin with. The rest watch in horror as their empire begins to crumble. And that's when they finally understand. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't bad luck. This was you. And you're not done yet. They beg for mercy. They offer deals, promises, please. But you remember the nights you begged. You remember the times you reached out, hoping for help, only to be met with cold stares and empty words. You remember what it felt like to be powerless, to be nothing. So, you give them the same mercy they once gave you? None. By the time they realize there's no escape, it's already over. The world that once belonged to them now bows to you. The power they once flaunted is now yours to wield. And as you stand above them, watching as they finally understand what true suffering feels like, you smile, because they don't know your hell. But now, they're living in it.